Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you got a chance to do so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share because we all know the sharing is caring, honey. Yes. And please make sure you follow and support everybody on the panel. Okay. What's up, TREMEL and Kat? How are y'all doing today?
I'm doing good.
I'm good. I first want to apologize for the lateness. Child, well, I was backstage carrying a child, and time went on, and I apologize. We have other people that will be joining us: Captivating Christian and Conscious TV.
I got it.
And yes, um, shit. I forgot what I was gonna say.
What was y'all's weekend like? What did y'all do?
Bitch, I was partying like I was 12. I was so through. I tell you, I was just like, I came in last night. My man was like, "Oh, so you hanging out like the young hoes?" I said, "Oh,
yes, God, that's what you're supposed to do."
I went out Friday night. I went out Saturday night. I said, "Fuck today. I'm not doing it today." I just stayed.
We in our 30s. We tired now.
I'm real tired.
We get 2 good days, and especially when they back to back.
Oh, it was back to back for me. You know, I went to a couple of shows, met a couple of hoes, and got the fuck. I got stuck at one place. Oh Lord Jesus, have mercy. I had to catch a Uber back to my car because you don't never ride with people when you want to go out. You always drive your own shit because when you're ready to go, you're ready to go.
Just have to send this out to people. Hey, Conscious.
Hey.
Never ride with people. Period.
Don't ride with people.
Yeah, fuck where they going. You just don't ride with people. Always drive your own shit so you can leave when you're ready to go.
Because I was ready to go. I was like, "You ready to go?" He's like, "I really don't want to." I said, "That's fine. That's got Uber."
Because I'm out. I'm
out. I'm ready to go. I'm tired. It was 2 o'clock. I was like, "This is past my bedtime. I need to be home."
But speaking of shows and hoes, you have a compilation album coming out, TREMEL.
Huh? Oh yeah, I do. It would be dropping April 9th. So we will be having a big listening party or an album release party, and I'm gonna make sure that y'all can get the details so y'all can come. It's gonna be a free event. We all like free, so if you can come, you should come. I don't know what them flights is gonna be given. I can't promise you nothing. Sorry.
Will there be food?
You know what? I can't even say that it'll be that.
Light bites.
Music is all that I can promise. And maybe some drinks.
Conscious, every Sunday you slay us with the hair. But this,
thank you.
Yes.
What is the name for this number?
Captain Marvel.
This is my Harley Quinn look, honey. This is
Harley Quinn. I like
Suicide Squad. I love it.
Yeah.
It's very that's DC. I don't really go up for DC Child. So for me, it's serving Captain Marvel.
But Captain Marvel in the comics was that girl. In the film,
I'm talking about just the colors of her outfit.
I didn't know that Captain Marvel. Oh, the color of her outfit.
Yeah, her outfit. Captain Marvel, very Spider-Man. Yes, God, I live. I'm here for.
How do y'all feel about the next Captain Marvel is supposed to be on their way to introduce some Rogue?
I'm excited.
That's how it's supposed to be because in the comics, that's how Rogue got her power. She was convinced to steal Captain Marvel's powers. So.
I love the combination of the two finally because I heard, and this is just a theory, but I heard that in Multiverse of Madness we get to see Professor X. So we're finally starting to see some submergence of the two. Since it's all Marvel anyway.
Yeah.
Excited.
How was your weekend, Conscious? I mean, your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was awesome. I slept in yesterday, which felt really good. I've given Saturdays is my Sabbath. It's when I just get into my sleep and my pillow, and I turn my pussy off, and I just enjoy my life. And I had a really good week of content creating. We've had some really epic panels that have evolved out of really dumb entertainment news that turned into some really community conversations around Black youth and patriarchy, and I'm just living. So it's been a great week. Can't complain.
That's so. Yes. I love a good old good content creating week. My week started off slow, but Kat was like, "Girl, we need tea," so I had to bring y'all some car conversations at the end of the week. I've been very busy. I've been in the gym a lot, girl, like pushing myself to the limit, and working on some final touch ups for the launch of TYKANATURALS, girl, hella guys. So I was just trying to went to my first ever football tournament this weekend. That was in the beginning, like I was like this. I'm standing in the midst of the most toxic male space known to man, besides the barbershop. And I just felt really uncomfortable. But like 3 black miles in, child, and heat exhaustion, and girl, I just was like, fuck this shit. And my dumb ass wore all black. My nephew, he said, when I was observing them play, everyone asked him, am I like a serial killer or something? Because of the way that I was just, I'm not, y'all know I'm socially awkward anyway. Like, it doesn't seem like it from here, but like, if you get to know me, like, damn, this bitch is quiet. This bitch is like real distant and far off to the side. So imagine me dressed in all black with black shades on. I'm over here looking like the fucking Terminator, bitch. And I have no expression on my face whatsoever. And I don't know why I shaved that day, because it just made me look more weird. It just, anyway, I did enjoy myself though, middle to the end, especially when they were winning, honey. I was like, yes, God, I was afraid to queen out, like, yes, girl, like, you better handle I was really scared to do one of those moments, and I didn't go high, which I was grateful for, because if I would have went high, it would have really been like, bitch, you better handle it. You know how we celebrate, child. So I didn't want to get kicked out of that space. And it was down south. And honey, all the hood niggas was out with their hood ass children. And it was a hood event. It was real. Like, if you go down, you would have thought Trick Daddy the kids was out there, because it looked real Miami-Dade, bitch. Like, bitch, when you see a fat nigga that looked 40 weeks pregnant in a tank top and a fake ass gold chain that's turning, hello God, because that shit was turning. I saw some chips, bitch. And I saw some greenery that's bitch, that should be rolled up, not seeping from your neck, girl. That's when you know you're in Miami-Dade, honey. Atlanta ain't the only place that fakes it till they makes it. Girl, please.
Damn.
Anyway, but I did enjoy myself. That was long and drawn out. Sorry, y'all. I'm still coming down from the crazy shit. I've just been up, and it's been stuck, girl. For real. I'm tired. But we are humbly gathered here today, everybody. Again, welcome everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. Make sure everyone that's on the panel, and even at Captivating Christian who's not yet with us tonight, everyone's information is in the description of this video. So hit their links and support the platforms. Hello, God. All right, so TREMEL, take us away. This was your idea, honey, and it's surprisingly, because you seem very conservative to me. So on a lot of ends. So the fact that you brought up this, discussion piece today, I was like, I was like, all right, am I reading this message correctly, honey? And I guess I was. So TREMEL, take it away. Introduce the topic.
So, at first I was going to get down to the nitty-gritty of just, the art of love making, but we're actually going to talk about also the beginning of love, because Conscious was like, it's so contrived to talk about sex. We're overly sexualized in so many ways as a people. I'm like, well, everybody does it.
Yeah.
So first we're going to talk about love languages. And then we're going to talk about what turns you on. And experiences. And we're going to share experiences, good, bad, triumphant ones, embarrassing ones, because I know we have those types of stories. Because I think it would be fun to share and get those out, just to
How
say,
embarrassing are we talking about? Like, painting on the kids? Like, what's that?
I mean, if you're comfortable telling people that. I mean, I'm sure we've done it before.
When I was a young girl.
When I was a young water.
Child, I don't believe no queen out there has never not. Hello, God. But we'll get into that.
No pellets on no penis.
Child, when you first try anything, there's going to be some failures. There's going to be some mistakes made, girl.
Oh, Concha said no, never me. It's like I was dishing from
Unless
the
you
start.
put some witchcraft on that buffet, honey. Okay.
I said I was dishing from the start, baby. So let's start with love languages. YB, can you tell us what your love language is and what you like about what is your top love language and what is your least love language? Do you know the love languages? Yes.
I believe, isn't there like touching, gifting?
Girl, I already had mine.
Okay.
Mine is saved.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go through the 5 love languages. There's physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
There are words of affirmation. There are receiving gifts. There's quality time. And what's that last one, Constance? I know you know it.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Okay. So I was just about to try to hurry up and take that quiz, but I guess it's too late.
No, you can let somebody else go and then you can take it if you want.
Okay, you can pass.
Okay, I'm going to take the quiz real quick. I think it's a quick quiz. I did this before, but I forgot what the love languages were that were assigned to me.
Constance, I know you know your love language. Well, no, we're gonna save you for last. I'm sorry. Hold up. Oh, please. No.
Well, it's no surprise to me, but my top love language is receiving gifts.
Oh,
yeah. And then
are you an Aquarius cat?
He's a Leo.
I'm a Leo. Of course I am.
Amen.
But, it's receiving gifts, then quality time, then physical touch, words of affirmation, and then acts of service last. That's the order in which mine runs.
So do you truly like receiving gifts?
I do. But you know what? I love giving as well.
You love giving? I guess that's both of it. That's
I have
show love.
Part. I love giving gifts. But yeah, I do like the finer things.
What's the most expensive gift you bought a man?
The most expensive gift I've bought.
Or the most extravagant gift. We won't say expensive because it might not be, that might not be like what a hard-hitting thing. Like the most extravagant gift in your opinion, like the most thoughtful gift that you felt like you've given.
I don't know. I don't buy men gifts.
You don't?
I don't. I don't. And if I do, I don't remember it. It definitely wasn't recent, but because we have that understanding. I'm the lady in this relationship. So
what have you received that you can recall?
Money.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
how much money?
It was like $4,000 or $5,000.
Where this man at?
Okay, girl, because
it was actually can't get right. I'm all over the place. Now that was I don't want to give him so much credit. That was to sort of coerce me to move with him. He was living out of state at the time. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't just up and move. Like, I need to find a job. And, what if my job is transferable? But we were talking about this around my birthday. And, yeah, he just dropped it in my account. Now, mind you, he never said happy birthday. He just gave me the money.
You don't need to when you're giving that much dough.
Who you telling, baby? You ain't got to say shit.
He just dropped it,
well, like he must say, I can't sweat no tight ass nigga outside my own checks. Yes, girl. Who's that? Yes, honey. I love it.
Yeah.
I need someone to cut a check for me, bitch.
Unless somebody would cut the check for me. I mean, not 5,000. I ain't never got that. That's a substantial amount of money.
It was a lot of money.
Sounds cute.
You gotta start dating high-valued men, TREMEL. High-valued men come with high-valued dollars. They're out there.
I am not sucking Kevin Samuel's dick.
That's not high value.
I'm making a parallel joke because whenever I hear the term high value, I think of that godforsaken man, Kevin Samuel's girl.
No.
All a high-valued man is a narcissist who's above a certain tax bracket, who can provide a lavish lifestyle.
Those are Steve Harvey suits. I don't think he got that much money.
Stacey Adams, girl, please.
We stay on point like Stacey Adams. No,
So
I
I
don't.
found my love language, and it's acts of service.
Okay.
So it says, as for someone whose love language is acts of service, you find it most attractive when your significant other shows you that you two are a team, whether that's helping out with chores, helping you plan a vacation, what have you. Having them offer to help out always reminds you that you are loved. Your pet peeves are when people are flaky and lack follow through. You want to be with someone reliable, responsible, and loyal, a real team player. Child, find me one girl and I'll give you $5,000, girl. Like, bitch, please.
That's very Capricornish of you.
Yeah, very much so. Because I'm like that. I believe gifts are cute. I believe that all the thing, accoutrement, I think that comes with relationships. But like, we got to be in this to win this together. Like, if I'm putting 100% into everything and you're just not even trying to help out, lift a finger, bitch. If I come home and you done got off work early or some shit and you ain't, and the dishes are still in the sink, I'm beating your ass, period. Like, I will drown you in the tub, girl, like while you're trying to relax. Like, I just, stuff like that. Or like, if I cleaned up one day, you better clean up the next day. You better put this month, you put it in. If I had did the clothes, you better fold the clothes and put them motherfuckers away. Like, let's go ahead and help each other out. Okay, that's all I care about.
But I mean, even though my top isn't acts of service, those are requirements. Like, we're partners in this.
Yeah.
In the relationship, in the house, in this whole spiel. So, yeah, even though mine is gifts, gifts, I still require.
But I think when I think of gifts, I don't even just think of material, though. I think of giving the gift of love, giving the gift of the heart, giving the gift of communication, giving the gift of, reassuring me. So when,
No, I want gifts.
no, I'm saying though, I understand.
I want tangible gifts.
Tangible dividends.
I want
baby.
Yes.
That's
Give me
cute.
a blank check, honey.
We can talk all night long.
Well, my top is quality time. Second would be words of affirmation, physical touch, then acts of service and gift giving. I really don't too much care for the gift giving. Like, you don't really have to lavish me with nice things. It would be nice, but it makes me uncomfortable sometimes to receive certain types of things from people. But quality time is everything to me, because it means that you're actually setting aside time for me, and that I can set aside time for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important gift that you could ever give to me, is the gift of your time. So I'm one of those types of lovely people, and that's my love language. Quality time. Physical touch is all right. I don't really like the touching, but
I love just rub me on my feet, honey. Like, get these bunions together, honey. Like, make me feel like a WMAN. Like, especially after I've done worked out or something, child. Like, I'd be tired. Like, massage these horse thighs.
Get in the shower first, and then let him get a hold of the bunions.
Actually, let's get in the shower together, and you can touch me there. Hello, God.
I thought she was tired.
Hey. Vroom. PTO, prepare the others, because, girl, I might have some reserve fuel in me.
Go ahead, Conscious. Let's hear what you got.
Y'all are really
me and YB on the same page. Certainly quality time and acts of servitude. I love it.
Servitude, girl. You tried to
I need an old nasty piece of indentured servant in the form of a lover, honey. And you all know, there don't nothing make me suck your dick more than being a stickler for details. So I love when that mama need her tires rotated, baby. Mama need her car vacuumed out, girl. Mama need bathtub wall scrub, girl. I love a attentive, deeply observant man, honey. Like, that just turns me on. I like a man who has a very strong memory. Like, he remember meaningless shit about me. Like, he reminds me. Like, if he be like, baby, remember you said you was gonna use that new Streamlab software in your next live? Like, bitch. See, that get your dick sucker right there. Like, why you organizing and filing my business like that in your brain? Like, that turns me on. Like, so. Yes,
Hold on one second. I apologize. I do want people to know that this episode, I titled it. I didn't title it. I did put in the description that it was spicy. So if you are weak of stomach, if you are weak of heart, if you don't like to talk about these things that we're going or where we're going, You children are in the building or what have you, child. You don't want them to hear these things. Please back the fuck out now and come back later when you can stay.
Before Conscious continues, I want everybody in the chat to forget everything YB just said, because if you watch his videos, they're all vulgar. He talking shit like this in every single video.
Right. Like,
and this one is complete bullshit. Please continue.
But that's all little old me had to say, baby, is acts of servitude and quality time. You know, quality time is going to be a really big thing these days in the era of social media. People think that quality time is adding you on Facebook or sending you a bunch of funny memes or texting you. Like, actually remembering that somebody is not AI, they're not artificial intelligence, girl. You need to, you know, you're with a sentient being, talk to them, engage them, intimate, not sexual intimacy, but like emotional and intellectual intimacy, like taking deep dives into each other's feelings and thoughts. And I live for all of that, like an old nasty piece of walking around the neighborhood on, you know, a nice 70-degree day, just talking and exchanging and building and, you know, reading books together and shit. I like all of that goofy old folks type of love. So yes, quality time and acts of enslavement.
I do love when a man knows what I want. Like, if you know how to order my food from like a burger joint, or hey, boo, if you know how to order my food, or you know little things about me, like Conscious was saying, like, no, cat don't like that. You know, he's allergic to that. Like, that shit is a turn on because you know me and remembering the little things. That for sure.
I think it's important, because I feel like when you're around someone, even if it's not for that long, you do tend to like pick up certain things about them, like what they like, if you eat out a certain place more than one or twice a week, like we know of the way to cat's stomach is through Chipotle, girl. Hello, God.
Exactly.
Like
Chipotle.
Exactly.
You know,
I ate Chipotle today. I ate Chipotle today.
You see, like, you know, the way to my heart is to sneak me a cigarette, please. I'm going on 2 weeks without one. I want to kill everybody. But anyway, girl, that's why I keep fidgeting, because I'm just like, I'm trying to find a different outlet here. I'm so used to doing one of these, and yes, God, honey. And I've had 2 Black and Milds today. I know that's, you know, whatever, but that's way better than what I really want to smoke right now. But yeah, if a nigga just gives me a pack of cigarettes, girl, you can FedEx that shit. That's an act of service, girl. Like, appreciate you. Yeah.
Just cigarettes. That's it. That's all you require.
That's for right now, girl. Like, I'm a cheap bitch. Yeah, it ain't gonna take much to satisfy me.
Not a public sub, you know.
Girl, just get me some tobacco, bitch. We'll be
Damn.
with some menthol, because girl, it's about to be fuck what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, girl. Like, it's about to be World War III in this bitch if I don't get one, girl.
Oh.
Hello.
Ooh. Yes, like the other day, my man had asked me, like, when was the last time I had checked my titties for cancer lumps and shit like that. I can get your dick sucked. You know, you need to care about whether I potentially got cancer lumps in my titties and shit. Like, I need that level of attentiveness. A man who cares about my health and my emotional and physical wealth. We want to make sure that all my hardware and intellectual property is functioning the way that it should, because, you know, he plans on slamming his head against the headboard for a long time, bitch. So a bitch got to stay intact and got to stay glued together. So I live for all of that. And I think that's a rarity, because before I got with one of my niggas, like, that whole really being a stickler for detail thing has been lost in translation. Like, these niggas, their attention span is very short, girl. Social media just done really vacuum brains away, honey. And people are just not as in touch with some of those old school courting and dating rituals. And I miss the old world. So I feel blessed to be able to be with somebody who, like, almost lives his life like social media doesn't exist. And that makes me feel like I'm in a real 3D relationship. So I really appreciate that.
Well, how would that work with you though? Because you're a content creator, therefore
Yeah.
most of your life is lived through social media.
But that's exactly why you guys only see me on sometimes maybe once a week, because I'm sucking my man dick the other 6 days of the week, girl. I make sure.
Is this when we're having these trilogies and these journeys?
Yes, this is why y'all be getting the trilogies, girl, because I know I ain't gonna be on here for another 6 days. So I gotta give up the ghost, bitch, because I got a real life that I enjoy living and being a part of. So when I give it, I gives it. And then
yes, you do.
I still gotta roll over for the next few days, Shy, because I'm gonna be out of this motherfucker, baby. I love social media. I live for it. I'm passionate about it. I'm making a career for myself out of this shit. But baby, I am very much so in touch and in love with the life I live, and nothing is going to take me away from my family, my niece, my brothers, my friends, my niggas. Like, I'm with all that every day. So social media, they're always going to get me part-time.
Did you say niggas?
Nick, you know, I got tools for the price of one.
Oh, I love plurals. Oh God.
TREMEL gonna me and him gonna disagree later.
We're not.
So we all have mentioned our love languages and all the things they're in. What's next?
Well, I have a question, and I want you to be as honest as possible and just really try to go back to that first time, right? So I want you to envision what your first time, what you thought your first time was going to be, what you thought or hoped it would be like, and how did that actually match up to what the first time actually was? And I would love to hear what you thought it was going to be like and what it actually turned out to be. I will go.
I had a vision of love,
right.
And it was all that you give it to me. I realized it was a dream, honey. Love you endlessly. Take me into your arms.
Those are two different songs, whore.
I'll be there forever, baby. I won't let go. Oh, that's not the song. Oh,
I just told you those are two different songs. You are singing Vision of Love and Anytime You Need a Friend.
Oh my God. Mariah would be screaming right now if she heard you.
I don't know.
Charlie, she could, girl. She need to get her voice back first. Girl, I love you, Mariah.
I'm not here.
Okay. Whew. Who's gonna go first on that? Because I have to think about how much information I want to give y'all.
I will go first. I don't mind.
Okay.
So, of course, I envision my first time being just like this magical experience with puppies and rainbows and all kinds of great things. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I would be with somebody. We would be dating and we would be together and all this other stuff. So, the real reason why I lost my virginity was because one of my friends had already did it. And we was like virgins together. I was 19 years old. And child, I hopped my ass on the train, the MARTA. I humped it like 2 trains and he picked me up from the train station. This man that I met on BGC. I don't know if y'all know what that is. The Black Gay Chat, baby.
That's how I met my first boyfriend.
And he was maybe, how old was he? He was 23. Now, when I tell you, we tried it, you know, we watching TV at first like we always do, you know, and it was back before Netflix and chill days. You know, I was 19. It was before them days. So, I didn't know nothing. I was just like, I'll let him take the lead because he was obviously more experienced than me. I just wanted to get it done, you know what I'm saying, at this point, because, you know, my friends are doing it, so I got to do it too. I got to get it out the way because the magic ain't coming. It ain't happening. I'm not getting, no young. I was only 19 and I just felt like that. I was like, let me go ahead and do it. So we tried it. And when I tell you, it felt like he was ripping me in half. It was just like, I was like, I don't know why people do this. I don't know what this is. It felt like agony for like at least 10 minutes of him trying to put it in. Right. And to the point where I was just like, okay, well, I can't do this. And he was like, well, it's in now. So you want to keep going? I'm like, I guess.
Oh, we here now.
Might as well, girl.
Oh, Lord. I'm not going to tell y'all what happened after that, but let's just say we had to stop because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. He was trying to put me back on the train and send me back home. I said, no, you got to drive me all the way back to my house because I need to go. I can't get back on no train riding like this. When I tell you my asshole was toe up. I laid in bed for 3 days.
Oh,
did not move. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. You know, I was a new gay. And it was not like I was gonna be like, oh, I have to tell my mom I'm going. She's gonna take me to the hospital. They're gonna find out my asshole been ripped up. They're gonna be like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? So, but I just got better, and I waited a whole 6-7 months before I tried it again.
Oh wow,
that's much sooner.
Now the second time was better. It was a smaller one.
Not small, but smaller than the one you.
It was smaller.
Okay.
And it was a little bit
more.
We're
trying to give you a good reputation around
here. Because when I first came out, I thought I was a bottom. We all think we bottoms when we first come out, and then something happens to us magically, and then we just revert over to the versatile side, and then or maybe a top or something. I should have been a top for the rest of my life, but it just didn't happen that way. So, but yeah, what I would say about the experience, it was very embarrassing because I didn't know what I was doing. One of the only times I've ever, Picasso the baby.
Oh, girl, not out here painting.
Painting, baby.
And,
but I learned after. So what I would say is like I was young, and it would have been nice to have somebody to explain the things to me. What you need to do. I didn't learn until like. Through those 6 months of my hiatus, I learned you're not supposed to eat this, and you're not supposed to eat that because you can't be eating no full course meals. You got to work this, you got to work that. You need to go get this, and you need to make sure you pour that out and don't use that. So because that will fuck up your insides. Learn that. And yeah, it was a learning experience. So I was just, it was a learning.
We're laughing, but I do want people to know.
We're laughing out of
what it's all about. This is what it's about. Like a lot of the girls don't have these conversations because they think that, oh, if I just keep quiet about what happened. No, this is all learning, girls. Part of the process of becoming, within the community, within yourself. And if you're gonna bottom and you don't have all the tools, and again, it's not like our community invites those conversations to have, or people are scared to have like other gay friends, especially growing up. You see how it is, especially if you're not fully comfortable within yourself. So again, welcome to the S4E4 Roundtable, honey, where we can have these discussions, sharing our experiences so that we can build bridges of unity within the community, girl. Hello, God. We've all been there. We've all Basquiated and handled the girls at some point or another. When it's my turn, since you were transparent about yours, I'll be transparent about mine. Who's next? Are you still going, TREMEL?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay.
I will say there was a nice happy ending to the story. I never really saw him after that no more. Because and that was of course like, oh, so this is what relations in Atlanta will be like, or just in general. I'm not even going to just put it on Atlanta, but it was just like, okay, so this is what I can expect. So, but some moons went by, some many moons, and I was probably like maybe 24, 25. I got up again. I did what I was supposed to have did. So I was like, you remember me?
I know that's right. Yes, honey. Fuck who think?
Yeah. I'm here. What I learned.
I'm here for all of it. It's about learning. Like that's how it was for me. That thing was so pristine after that. I said, girl, never again. The fuck? I said, never again, bitch. I will not. Well, I guess since I'm talking, I might as well just go. Okay, well, the first successful time or the time I tried?
It's the first time you've ever made it through. Yes, the first successful time. But what did you envision it being like before you actually did it? What was your fantasy about? Like
my fantasy, I'm not even gonna lie. Please don't laugh. Please don't laugh. I really loving basketball was like my like.
Oh wow!
I really thought I was gonna have us annihilate the moment, girl. Like I really thought that. I know you got a little life in you there. I know you got a lot of strength left, and I sure did have a lot of strength. Oh God, I was here for a moment. Was feasting, girl. Okay. Yes, honey. Yeah, honey. We didn't have to prepare the others because we was prepared. Okay, for real. Ooh, that broccoli was done.
Been done.
That broccoli was done. Okay. Honestly, I really wanted that moment, but obviously it was far from it. My first successful time, I was 18 years old, and it was with this guy that I worked with. And when I mean, we were really cool. Like me and him were really, really cool. Jamaican dude. He was really cool. And it kind of happened like he got fired, child, because he was stealing from Macy's, girl. So because we worked for, I don't want to put, fuck it, child. They don't watch my show anyway. We were working at this parking garage together. And when you're employed by the parking garage, that kind of means you work for anything that's within there, right? They're all linked together vibe. Mm-hmm. So him and his girl, child, they got caught stealing from Macy's, child, whatever, girl. And they heard of the job, heard about, so they fired his ass. And honey, some time went by, and we were cool, so we would talk and communicate. And then one night, child, 3:00 in the morning, conversation got boring. I'm telling her, like, yes, honey, where the bitches at? I said, child, there's no one here but me. But me, I don't hang out with bitches. I don't like bitches. I don't like niggas. I don't like nobody. Okay, period. And so he was like, all right, what are you doing? I said, oh, I guess I'm going to be now looking in retrospect, I guess I'll be your option, like one of your options, but I already knew what the intention was. I was young then too. I didn't know the sign of where the bitch is at. I didn't know about the working game, Mm-hmm. So he came over, chilled, we smoked or whatever, hung out. And next thing you know, I'm getting handled in the back of a Dodge Neon, girl, like behind a storage.
What color was it?
It was a white Dodge Neon.
It was white?
It was a white Dodge Neon. Now, I can't laugh at that because a year later, I ended up buying a white Dodge Neon. This circumstance would have it, but that it didn't work out because I just wasn't ready for all of that. But we ended up doing it successfully later on. Child, baby mama was at work, girl, and I went through, and when I mean it felt like someone was stabbing me with knives. But did I get raped? Hold on, I gotta think about that because I was pressed down and I was shaking and I felt like my cup was running over. So, and I did say no. That's not here nor there. Because of his arousal, his pleasure, I let it continue on. But it did hurt a lot. And then I thought my first introduction to fuck nigga ass behavior, if it wasn't the fact that he had already told me that his baby mom was at work, the fact that he nutted in her bras, child. Child wiped himself off and wiped me off with her clothes, basically. And I was like, damn, you are a fuck nigga, bitch. You are a sorry ass nigga. Anyway.
That's why these women need to keep these trackers and these AirPod trackers on your nigga car, baby. They might be with YB behind the soccer field and shit.
And a dog.
It was a storage unit. It was a storage unit. Plenty of privacy. And if you get caught at a public park or something, girl, your ass is going to jail. For real, bitch. And they finna hit your ass being on that list, girl. You really ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. That's why I always make it my business, girl. Go somewhere else. Don't go to the park.
No.
Cat.
Okay, well, let me start off by saying, like, I just had like a aha moment because I didn't know that the where the hose at was code for a nigga trying to talk to you. Mm. I have been asked that so many times. And I was like, I got friends. So who is it that you're trying to talk to? Like, I would just like blow it off. I was so oblivious to what they were trying to say. But my vision was the same as YB's. Like, when I saw Love and Basketball, I said, girl, that's me. I'm going to have me Omar Epps in my life, and I'm going to be Sanaa. And no. Now, it was a guy that I was talking to. We were like, kicking it. He had been talking about, having sex, but I was just like, And he was older than me, so he was doing some work, and I don't know, well, maybe he wasn't doing work. Because he told me he was doing work, but he was like stationed at some hotel. Like, Yeah, so he was at this hotel like by the Galleria, like down like in Midtown. And I didn't even drive. I wasn't even driving at the time, so I had my friend Toya take me. Hey Toya, and I was like, "Come up here with me," because I was nervous at first. And we chilled up there for a minute, and then when we came down, he was like, something like, "You forgot something." No, some kind of way he wanted me to get back up there by myself. And I was like, "Toya, I'll be right back." Bitch, I was up there for 2 hours, and I literally. It was going good at first. Daddy had the lube, like he knew what to do. Like it did not hurt as much going in. So that initial pain I didn't feel, but he was the kind that like as soon as he was sure that it was in, there was no more slow time after that. It was like a jackhammer in your fucking ass.
Niggas, let me say this real quick. Stop that.
Please stop.
Stop that. If it's comfortable for us, it's going to be really comfortable for you. But if you make it uncomfortable for us, bitch, I'm going to shit on you, period.
Oh, no. So, yeah, the jackhammer was just too much. I remember literally, and I know the people next door was like, oh, my God. I was crawling up the wall screaming for help. Like, not in like, I really want to be rescued, but I was just like, please. Like, it just, you know how you run from the dick? I was like literally on the walls. And he was like standing up behind me, he was going to get his nut regardless. He was going to get his nut regardless. Like, he fucked me so insanely. Like, I remember, I did not shit. I didn't faint that time. I ain't even gonna lie that time. But,
we'll save it for the embarrassment segment.
Okay. But, I remember, when it was all over, I went downstairs and Toya was taking me home. This is the one and only time this has ever happened. It was like I had to shit, and my ass was like, "Girl, I don't know if I can hold it. I don't know if I got you this time." You know, like it was like my hole and my cheeks could not contract. So I'm like clenching my cheeks in the seat, like Toya, please, like I'm about to shit on myself in your fucking car. Like either stop somewhere or get me home so fast. And I made it home, but it was just like, that was really scary. I really thought he had broken my ass. I thought my ass was broken, bitch. But yeah, that was the first time. And we continued to talk after that, but I lit his ass the fuck up. Like, don't you ever. And he didn't do it like that ever again, but maybe it was his first time too. And he wanted to act like he knew what he was doing. Because now that I look at it, no man has ever fucked me like that ever again. It was just like, what are you doing? Like this, we caused friction, I'm sure. I'm sure sparks were flying in that room. Let's see, not those type of sparks, bitch. Actual sparks. Actual sparks.
I-95 head-on collision sparks, baby. Well, I guess it's my turn. I lost my virginity to my boyfriend at the time. I was 17 and he was 32. And
what state is this in, child? Is there a back law on this? How can we retroactively arrest this?
Oh yes, we are friends. Me and Toya are still friends to this day. We are still friends.
Go ahead in this illegal ass relationship you talking about, child. Go ahead.
I never dated men my age. I was always into the older boys. You know, I'm still not into. I'm still not a cougar. I just like older men. But so my fantasy initially was not Love and Basketball. Unfortunately, it wasn't The Young and the Restless either. It was actually porn. I had the impression that, just like Trick Daddy's old record label, the dick would slip and slide into my pussy. So that was my expectation, girl, is that, you know, the day that Sesame opened, girl, that it was just going to be an old nasty piece of pull up, easy and smooth. And upon me trying to take the dick on my side, I remember when the dick first made contact with me.
You just saw an alien experience.
Girl,
the third kind.
Nothing that I could have ever lived up until then could have prepared me for what to do with my mental and emotional body at the first time that dick like breached my fence. And it was cataclysmic because I felt Girl, I felt like my brain went offline and the bitch went temporarily deaf and blind, girl. Blood was oozing from my ears and my eye sockets, girl. It was the most hellish pain I've ever felt. And it was concentrated around the rim of my pussy. Like the rim of my asshole turned into the seventh circle of hell. And at that moment, nothing in my life ever caused me to question the righteousness of homosexuality. But when I felt that pain, bitch, I absolutely knew that God was not with me. God was not in the lives of not near active homosexual in the world. That there is nothing okay or normal about anal sex. It was beyond me. It was unimaginable. Now, after that first experience, because eventually we worked it out over a 5-hour span. We worked it through and through and through and through and by and by and by. And then I end up liking it because I realized that where the pain came from, what nobody taught me, was that you don't just lube the dick and you don't just lube the external of your pussy. You need to lube internally as well. That lube you need to lubricate the inner walls of your divine feminine. And then from there, I had the slip and slide experience. I was able to fuck my nigga like I was watching them power bottles on them porno tapes back in the early 2000s, was fucking they niggas. Now, I never had a Picasso or a Da Vinci experience because my top told me all about the way that my intestinal tract needs to work as it relates to a seamless anal power bottoming experience. So I knew to be on the diet of the Olsen twins when I was going to give my nigga some ass. I knew to be bulimic on the day that it was bottom day, bitch. So, you know, I took that knowledge, you know, with me, to, you know, up until now. So I never had the Picasso experience, but that's my first time. And then after that, you know, it's just been really good. Oh, and I lost my virginity twice. I lost it at the bottom. But then that same nigga used to, his way of showing me that he really loved me was letting me top him because he really was a predominant top. But he wanted to prove that he was really in it, and he felt like throwing his feet to the ceiling fan was a way to do that. And my first experience as a top was not good either because I felt like I was fucking Section 8 refrigerated baloney, bitch. Like, that asshole did not understand the assignment. It was not giving what it was supposed to give, girl. It was giving much so narcissistic, emotionally unavailable pussy, girl. Like, it was not warm. It was not tender, girl. It was not any of those things. But I found out through fucking other bottoms that it was just his asshole that was offline during the experience, girl. So, you know, after that, it was all well done. So, that's me.
So, this video is definitely not going to get monetized, so like the video, everybody. I swear, you give the most hilarious breakdowns. You need to do more story times on your channel.
You should.
Seriously.
Okay.
How do we go from where?
It's masculinity today.
So I wanted to talk about relationship sex versus casual single sex. What is that?
I will find a way. It's the best. Go ahead.
What do you like that? What is more intriguing about either or? You know, what do you like about casual sexual experiences versus relationship sexual experiences and vice versa? Like, how do they compare in your mind?
In the words of Heather Hadley, I'll always be his lady. Let me tell you something. There's nothing like I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say relationship, but someone I'm really into, like in my mind, like
Okay.
we really go there. There's been about 3 people in my life who I've looked at that way. And when I mean their sex, our sex is like the best. Like randoms, that's cute and everything. And I've had some mind blowing random one night stands in my life. But to be completely honest with you, there's nothing like having sex with someone you actually feel something for. That transcends any and everything. It's almost like, I don't know what getting abducted by aliens is like, girl, but if you guys are out there, bless the kid, child. Because I'm tired of this earth, girl. You can have this dusty, rusty rock bitch and move me light years away from this bitch. But like, it's really transcending. It's so much better. You enjoy it. Every feeling is just intense. And it's almost in sync because you know what each other wants. You know what pleases me. I know what pleases you. We know what pleases each other. Like, it's like you're really, like they say, you're like one, like you've come together. You know what I'm saying? It's God, honey. There's nothing like it. And I'm grateful, even if it's only been the 3 times in my life that I've actually experienced what, even people who I've like left by the wayside, but we had that connection that we've always had. I'll go back to it sometimes, girl, just because like the connection is still there. We may not like love each other like that anymore, but like physically when we're together, it's mind blowing. It's almost like that Yvonne and Kiki Wyatt song. Nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you, boy. Feel the same about you, baby. Ooh, yes.
All about you, babe.
It'd be good, child. It'd be really good. But again, you can have mind-blowing things with randoms, but that's very rare in my opinion. I have had it, but they were far in between. Like not every random, like maybe every other 10 random. Anyway, someone else go.
I would love to go next.
Okay.
So there's a really big difference for me between relational sex and casual sex. For one, my freak level is at like a 4 or a 3 when it comes to casual sex, when my freak level is like at eternity with somebody I'm in a relationship to. There's things that I just refuse to do with a random that I'm going to completely do with my nigga. So I have to give you very vanilla. I just folded the clothes pussy, like when it comes to casual sex, and then I can turn into like Ike and Tina in the studio when it comes to my man. So what I love about, I prefer relational sex, which is why I'm a relationship person. I've only engaged in like hookup culture probably twice in my whole adult life. I've spent the majority of my life in committed relationships. So, and one of the things that I love about relational sex is that the person knows me. Like, you know exactly when I'm ready to urinate in your face. Like, you know exactly what you know what the script is. What I don't like about casual sex, girl, is like, I ain't trying to learn you, bitch. I ain't got time for you to learn me, girl. I don't got time. Like, I don't like. Is you open? Am I open to your freak? You open to my freak? I don't know. I can't. It's too much. Okay, like I just need a nigga who know how to get it. So I love that relational sex is about being on code, and they understand your territory. You understand theirs, girl. They know. Just when to pull the dick in, just when to put the dick out, girl, just when to jump out and put the dick down your throat, then back in again, girl. Like, it's like there's a rhythm and an ebb and a flow when it's relational fucking. I never needed dick so bad that I needed to just like fuck right now and swipe left or right on Tinder. Like, I could wait on it because I really get off to get me off requires information. Information that's just not going to be provided in no casual ass experience. So I like relational sex. So there's a big difference for me. That's why I don't even bother like fucking randoms. And even when I have participated in hookup culture, I was like hooking up with previous boyfriends. I never hooked up with like somebody that I didn't know. It's always somebody I was familiar with and who already knew. Once again, they already knew Jurassic Park.
Go ahead, Kat. What that cat meow like?
I've done both, but for me, much like Conscious, my casual sex was with people that I was familiar with, the people that I knew. So I've never done the whole. Hey, boo. I've never done the whole random hookup. But I prefer relational sex. I just feel like there's a comfortability and like a symbiotic like rhythm there. Sort of like what I said, like there you just know your partner knows you. You have to just try different things. I would rather try 100 things with one person than 100 things with another person, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
I just feel like, I always felt like if I could find, and I know everyone's is on this search as well, and they begin this search, and then you realize there's no such thing as a total package, in my opinion. That's why relationships are.
That's exactly why I got
girl, God bless. But I feel like if I could find all the things I need require into one person, great. I wouldn't have been such a whore in my life. But the reason I was whoring and moving is because, almost like TREMEL was talking about earlier, like Atlanta, not just Atlanta, but most places, you have sex, you think you have a connection, but really this person is going to ghost you. You're probably not going to have even if y'all really talk, because some of these niggas really got that gift of gab, child. You really think that you really found that nigga who can communicate. Y'all's freak levels is about the same. Y'all out here getting it. You think that you're compatible and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, child, you don't have mind-blowing sex. Girl, you thought you were going to get a call back the next day, but girl, please. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. So that's why I moved the way that I moved, because it's like, okay, nigga, you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't shit. So I might as well just fuck a whole bunch of, if I want to get my rocks off, I guess I'm just going to have to fuck a whole bunch of ain't shit niggas without no thought into what's going to happen after this, because I really don't care. But I hate that I've developed that mind frame, because it's further perpetuated the whole status, and I'm just over it, girl.
So what do you prefer?
Huh?
What do you prefer?
What do I prefer?
Yeah, relationship, sex, or casual?
Say that again.
Relational sex or casual?
Well, I spoke on it earlier. Relational. I prefer that. Go ahead.
TREMEL.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all my life story. So I guess the reason why I'm just like so about sex now is because after my first experience, which I told you was kind of like, you think you expect one thing, but then you really get hit with, like YB said, you just get hit with nothing. So I had like a lot of like self-esteem issues, growing up in the gay culture, not just trying to find myself, you know what I'm saying? So one of the things that I did do was, I used my temple to, in a way, try to find love and try to find that. I can honestly say that I've had a lot of sexual experiences, but there have not been many that I've actually truly, honestly enjoyed. There have not been many that I've actually felt connected to the person. For the most part, I really didn't even know why I was doing it, just for the sake of doing it. It wasn't like it was all pleasurable for me. It's just like, I'm doing it because I think that that's what we're here to do, and that's what just is here, and that's what they want to do. So let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? So and a couple of times speak out to me where there was this one particular guy, and it will always stick out in my mind because he's cool now. But like, I thought me and him were communicating, online, and we had talked on the phone and stuff like that.
Come on, season 2 of G Status.
But what he said to me was, I would never date you. You're not somebody I would date. You're just somebody I would have sex with. Like,
wow.
And me and him had never did that. So it was kind of like, wow, I appreciated the honesty.
Okay.
I appreciated the honesty.
For that honesty? Did you even ask him for that?
Yes, it's rude as fuck. Like,
I didn't ask him for that. Honestly, I didn't ask him for that. I was just like, oh, we should hang out sometime and blah, blah, blah. And he really just hit me with the, we should get to know each other. He was like, oh, well, you're not somebody I would actually want to get to know or like date or anything. I would just want to have sex with you. So from that, and that was told to me by like, like after like maybe like a couple of months after my first or second experience with having sex. So I was like, oh, this is what I'm really like forced to deal with. And mind you, I've only had like one boyfriend in my entire life, apart from the one that I have now. So it's kind of like I've never actually had great experiences with sex. It's never been like, oh, it's just, oh, I just gotta have it. I mean, I have had it, some of them nice, but like to actually say that I was connected to somebody, to say that I truly enjoyed, that I remember it and stuff like that. So that's why I don't really like.
I got a question for you. So, I mean, you say that you participated in a lot of horrorism. So you obviously had an expectation. So what was your expectation of casual sex, even though you kept having it and you wasn't
So
like...
he was forced, from what I'm getting from this, he was basically forced to do that. Think about that, almost like what I said, like when you're, let me know if I'm wrong. TREMEL can speak for herself. I apologize, but I feel where this is maybe going. Sometimes, especially in the gay community, in the Black gay community, that's where we're forced to go, is to the lane of horrorism. Because if we want to experience something, or whether it's sex or whether it's some type of companionship on that level,
attention, companionship,
these dudes will lie to you and be like, oh, they want to kick it this way, or like you got the real direct ones like TREMEL was just describing, and it's just like, damn, man, like you're kind of forced to be pushed in that lane real quick if you want some semblance of an experience on that level.
So I'm not gonna say like, it's like
a connection through sex.
You said what?
I said, so you were seeking a connection through sex?
Yeah, I was seeking validation for, just being worthy of just being seen. You know what I'm saying? It was more so like, you see me, you see who I am, you see what I can, you want some of this. So that makes me feel good. So there were some people that I wouldn't go to that. Most times, honestly, when I think of the people like the one who was very forward with me, of course I would never mess with nobody like that. Like you doing a little too much. Like now you making me feel like I'm really like in the dirt, in the gutter type person. So I usually beat them to the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that I actually did mess with. I'm like, okay, well, we just gonna do this. I'm not gonna think about it. We're not gonna talk about it. We just gonna meet up. This is what's gonna happen, and boom, gone.
You will turn into them. The way they treat you is eventually the way you end up treating them, and that's exactly, that resonates with me so well, because that's exactly why I turn into such a cold ass bitch when dealing with sorry ass nigga shit.
Period. So it's just like so relationship sex is something that I've only experienced twice. Well, with two people, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing like it for me. And I don't think that ever after, even if me and my dude don't work out, heaven forbid, but if we don't work out, I don't think I would ever have sex with somebody who I'm not completely 100% in love with. I could never do that again, because my heart just won't let me do that. My feelings about myself won't let me do that. And the things that I've been through with people bringing up like sex to me it's just so disgusting. And it's not disgusting in a like, oh, don't do that to me. It's more so like, you really think that that's all I am, and I'm not that anymore. Like that was when I was younger. You could have got me with that when I was younger, but now that I'm the person that I am, sex is not all that I am, and it's not all that we are as people. Like everybody deserves real love, and if you feel like you getting it, through sex, hey, more power to you. But if you're not, and you want the real thing, you deserve that too, and you should never let nobody tell you that you can't have it, because that's what I felt like I was being told all of those many moons. When I was slutting myself on out and thinking I was having a good time and just, collecting bodies, it just ended like.
So you were settling for sex. So you were settling for sex when you really wanted something of substance and you wanted something relational.
I wanted to feel worthy. And it wasn't even about the relationship aspect. It was just literally wanting to be seen as a person. And I didn't know that I wanted that until I actually was seen as a person. You know what I'm saying? Or I had to force myself to be seen as a person.
So let me ask y'all this question, because I find this to be so interesting. Do y'all feel like the whole like niggas ain't shit trope has something to do with the fact that in part niggas ain't shit, but also what type of niggas are we talking about? Like,
right,
where, like, what type of niggas is one attracted to? Because there probably is a lot of ain't shit niggas, depending on what type of niggas.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think anybody truly. knows how to love the right way anyway, especially from our generation to the ones coming up now. Like, I don't feel like there's enough examples of what real black love is. I don't think people even know. You can look up the definition, but to experience it is a whole nother situation for a lot of the people. Like, we're relating our sexual experiences to an idea of love that we want to have, but there's no one out there really trying to give it. It's a diamond in a rough situation. So that lets me know that more than not, there are a bigger group of people being raised up in loveless type of households. And that's something that we need to be trying to fix. There's a lot of broken homes out here, child. It's breeding a lot of fuck niggas out here in the world, a lot of horrible ass women too, to be honest with you. And it's all around. We soak up everything around us. So when we start emulating the thing that we were raised around, can we really feel, some type of way about that?
I think we should change our words. Absolutely. I think we should change the way we speak about these men, because I think, and I'm starting to believe this more and more now, words are spells. That's why it's spelling. So I really believe when we say niggas ain't shit and we call them fuck boys and all of this, it's like we're setting the standard for them to live up to. We don't expect them to be more. So it's just like, you a fuck nigga, you ain't shit. So they believe I ain't shit. So I'm gonna act like I ain't shit, So it's like, I think it's a matter of like, you can't necessarily change a man, but if you change your standard, if you change what you would accept from him, then better men will come into your life. Now they won't be, like you said, the perfect guy or check everything, the perfect package, the total package or whatever. But better men will come into your life when you know how to love yourself. I think the people around you reflect how you treat yourself.
Absolutely.
My circle has changed because I love myself. I have friends around me who love and support me because I love and support me. But when I can give a fuck about me, this YB. I have people around me who kept me there.
Absolutely.
And that'll happen. And what you said about, niggas turning you into them is absolutely true. I'm like that. I'm in that place right now. Not where I'm just, hoeing around like he was, but I have a level of indifference toward him that I can't even explain. I'm not even trying to put it on. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just indifferent. If you stay cool, if you go cool. I don't give a fuck because my eyes over here. And I didn't used to be like that. But once my heart was burned and tarnished, I was like, no, never again. Never again.
So the reason this conversation is interesting, and the reason why I asked that is because our type is very fascinating, because a lot of Black queer men are attracted to masculinity, just like a lot of Black women are attracted to masculinity. The problem in and of itself with that is that a lot of Black men's version of masculinity is toxic masculinity. So you endure a lot of relational abuse as it relates to being attracted to a certain type of masculinity. And so that's why I was asking, unpacking this, because even for myself, I've had to unpack masculinity, even though I'm versed. I love femininity on a man. I love masculinity on a man. I love, or somewhere in between is also fine with me as well. But I had to do a lot of unpacking of masculinity too, saying what's if I'm a man, and I know we've had this conversation on other Yes God Roundtable discussions, I'm a man who embodies a certain level of femininity. Why would I find that unattractive on another man when I embrace and accept and find my own femininity sexy? So there's a disconnect in terms of me also not finding that trait attractive in another guy. He can be physically attractive, et cetera, but then if he's a certain level of femininity, it's So unpacking that and challenging that shit, and also us exploring deeply why we count other types of men out and maybe only go for a certain type may have a lot to do with why some of us keep running into ain't shit niggas, because depending on what type of nigga you like, you're gonna like a nigga who got a lot of ain't shit nigga qualities, and that can reinforce a reality that's also not necessarily true, because there's a lot of great men out there. But if a lot of those other men are not even your type, based upon whatever is your type, then you have a false sense of ratio as it relates to available healthy men in the world.
I agree and disagree. Where I disagree is because, okay, I can uplift all of y'all on here and be proud of y'all and, you know, love the things that y'all do, love myself, and still not want that aesthetic for myself. Think of the hetero, you know, stance. Women are attracted to men. You know, we don't, you know, the opposites attract. So, I mean, being attracted to who you're attracted to doesn't really say that you discriminate or, you know, are prejudiced against, you know, the others. It just, you know, it's your personal preference. Now, how you treat those other people, I think that's where the disrespect and, you know, we got to start unpacking that, because what is your, for some people, it's not just, I like masculine men and feminine men just aren't my preference, like cool or whatever, cool as friends. You have people who are just like, I'm a punk, and other punks are just disgusting. Like, I just don't like other queens. They just, and that is what we need to unpack. Why do you hate yourself in essence? Because you don't want nobody that looks like you around you. That says something about you. Now, not wanting to see reflections of you around you is a problem. But me just being attracted to somebody that's different from me in aesthetic, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think, you know, I don't think that I should be, I don't think that it should be obligatory that I like all men just because I'm homosexual.
I would have to challenge that just a little bit, because when I, like, if we, because, well, first of all, a lot of our so-called preferences really just come through a lot of like social conditioning. Let's say that most of us were raised in a culture, like a lot of like African Egyptian men, wore like the bald head with the side ponytail, the eyeshadow, and they had queens and harems of women. Like, that was the aesthetic of men you were introduced to. Therefore, you learned and was conditioned to be attracted to however men presented in your culture. So a lot of what we think
high value man.
So a lot of what we think is like inherently our preference really is not inherent. It's based upon a bunch of complex, subjective social conditioning coupled with our natural personalities and boom, boom, pow, 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 pow. Because when I think about a man, even a very hyper effeminate male, at the end of the day, I'm like, let's say that hyper effeminate male is a top, because we have a lot of feminine tops in the community too, who vogue down to the ground, butch queen to the earth, and will break that spinal cord. I think to myself, but this is a man at the end of the day. Vogue and all, this is a man. This is a man who also knows how to throw the dick at the end of the day. This is a man who is a person. And so what am I entertaining in my ideals and in my perception that makes this man something less than a man, even if he's a man with feminine traits? Like, at the end of the day, I'm still with the guy, even if he's a effeminate guy. If I need a dominant partner sexually, this guy still is able to provide that, even as a effeminate top. And so I think it's like, I think we are just not challenging ourselves enough and getting to the rooty to it. I think we take the time to accept too much surface information about ourselves. And I know this even to be true for myself, because I've had to unpack so much of myself to discover another layer of self. And I've also participated in helping other people to peel back the layers of their minds so that they can discover another aspect of themselves beyond the surface egoic information that's provided to us about us and the way we see and relate to the world. This is why people get into therapy. This is why people like come into religious experiences and shit, like to literally be enlightened, because there are so many light bulbs that are not going off in our heads because we're not really seeking anything different or outside of the conventional knowledge we have of ourselves. But I think it's deeper. I think we're all deeper. I think we take for granted sometimes that we've inherited a lot of this shit. We've inherited Christianity. We've inherited cultural norms. We've inherited so much of the information that a lot of us are not operating with a 100% creative right over our lives. So unpacking that shit, especially as a conquered people, as an enslaved people, we have to unpack it to make sure that the line we're walking is truly an authentic one to ourselves. Or I think we're going to miss the mark, and we're going to reincarnate again and again and again because we're just overshooting the trajectory. TREMEL, I know you was trying to object to me.
I wasn't trying to object. Well, I had a small a story to tell that really related to what you said. So one of my homegirls back in the day, yay, he was getting popped by some a femme top, but he was cool with it because he said, he was a pretty boy, or whatever, and he was just like, yeah, he got some feminine ways, but he was throwing that thing. So he said after one experience that they had after they had got done, he said the boy got up and said, "Oh, I feel so pussy," after he just fucked my friend. So he was just like, "Nah, girl, I can't do it no more."
Well, I'm sorry, child. Like, I just cannot. I don't have to even speak too much on this because everybody already has heard my opinions on this shit. Like, I'm sorry, girl. Like, any dosage of femininity, like, I can't. Like, I can't. It needs to be like full on man, honey, full on testosterone. It can be toxic, girl. Just put it in a soup and let me have it, girl. You know what I'm saying? Girl? Like,
I don't want it to be toxic, but like yeah. Now I am a little bit more lenient. Like I do find men of my level of femininity attractive. Like when I'm working out and I see another feminine guy like of my level, I'll look. Like. I'm as attracted to him as I am the other guys, but I just can't control the fact that I don't find certain men attractive.
I can look at you and say you're beautiful, you look good, but being attracted like to someone who I could see potential with on a rump in the hay, bro.
Yeah, there's no arousal.
I don't get aroused. Like you calling someone beautiful, like that's cool. Like I call even women beautiful. Like you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. I call everybody you're cute. But there has to be something to you that's not borderline, but on the other side. Hello, God, prepare the others, but prepare the trade, girl, because I'm coming. Like I just can't. Like it's just And I've tried. Like I have been in situations where I have definitely. It's been available, and the girls will let you know that they do not give a fuck, child. Because I'd be like, girl, what? You want me, girl? Me and you are like this together, girl. Like we're shopping around. I thought we'd be shopping for the same thing, but the girls be into the girls, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, girl, I'm not a lesbian. I can't do it.
But to Concha's point, like that also creates a cultural problem because if there aren't too many masculine men around, all the girls is gonna go for them.
Well, then that's
gonna
create. Everybody want to be one of the girls. Like, what?
But can I speak to that real quick? Scientifically speaking, you're absolutely. Actually, it's gonna get worse because come to find out, femininity is linked to a lot of the depletion of men out here. Y'all real niggas like to jack off and come all the time, right? Well, guess what that does? That actually decreases your testosterone levels, which when you finally do impregnate fish, you're going to have a feminine son, period. Look it up. It's a real thing. So the more you spill your seed everywhere, child, how you're spraying the walls down, these crunchy ass carpets, bitch. These old used up Hanes boxers, child, that y'all done stole from Walmart, bitch. These overloaded socks out here in the world, child, hello God. Period. Every time y'all do that, the chance of you having a son is coming now. I'm coming like this and real femme, real what's his name, Little Richard girl. It's gonna happen. So you're right though. The rate that things are happening right now, you're seeing a lot more femininity versus masculinity these days, and it is attributed to that fact.
But my issue is I'm still trying to figure out what's exactly wrong with that. One of the things that I'm really jealous of about the European community is that they have so many different variations of what they consider to be masculine. You're just not put into a single box as a Caucasian male. Like you can be the nerd. You don't have to be some chest beating gangster, shoot up the club ass, trick daddy, 2 Chainz, whore ass, abusive ass, hard body, big jawed ass nigga. Like you can have long hair you can be a rock and roll as Caucasian man. You can be a punk rock. You can be gothic. Like there's all these avenues for Caucasian men to exist in, primarily because
that doesn't bring. Unfortunately, I understand what you're saying, and it should be like that, but that does not bring comfort to cisgender heterosexual women. They like those type of men because those are the men who least likely in their minds to be gay. So, because those are the men who are least likely to be gay in their world.
I'm talking about for the white community.
Can we give a public service announcement to those women who think that way, baby? It's the absolute opposite, honey.
That, oh, my man,
to let y'all know.
The hoodest one. He's the
the
hardest one. He don't like gay boys and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He the hoodest one. And that translates over to us naturally, if that is attractive to what black women like, you know, a little gay punk might want that too, you know. Like, I want my
I'm not informed. I'm not in
because he might
my attraction to men
like me.
My attraction to men is not informed in the least by their bitch and their nigga. Not black women, not black men, not other gay men. Do not inform my attraction to anything. I do understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that the reason why all these variations of men are able to exist in the white community is because they also don't have an issue of toxic masculinity, which only exists in our community as a clap back to white supremacy. Absolutely. So because of this distorted view of masculinity within the black community, we reinforce that and in a lot of ways encourage it. And then we think that there's something inherently authentic about toxic masculinity. And it's not. Like, we're all actually under the spell and psychological conditioning of toxic masculinity now that it does exist. Because before NWA, before rap became hyper misogynistic, before this wave entered, black women were actually attracted to niggas in bell bottoms and afros in the 70s. Black women were actually attracted
Prince
to niggas.
was getting cat all over the place.
The Ozzy Brothers had their shirts tied up.
Black women were actually attracted to niggas in suits like Dr. King and Malcolm X. We've seen what our community looked like without so-called toxic masculinity in the way we see it today exists. So we know that there's nothing inherently substantive about toxic masculinity. It's literally a social programming. And we're now, yes, eating the fruit of its forbiddenness.
Absolutely, because all of that type of behavior, that type of dress, those type of features, you know, the bell bottoms and all of that stuff. Now that would be considered. They made that gay. That's gay now. You can't do that. That's gay. So the dudes gotta be
a queen worth dressing wouldn't be caught dead in bell bottoms. Okay, so
you know what I mean. No, it's like all of those in having any kind of feminine qualities, taking care of yourself. Shit, they call what metrosexual men. They you got to be gay because you too pretty. You take care of yourself too well. You clean your nails and all this other stuff. You get your feet done. Like, you're definitely gay. Like, they make everything that
but you know
would
what?
just be good hygiene. They make it gay.
I am starting to see a heavy influx of heterosexual men actually doing more taking care. Like, I see them getting manicures, pedicures. They're getting their beards done. Like, not just shaved. They're actually getting the whole. I don't know that process. I ain't got no damn beard. It's like a whole threading, honey. They're not even getting them shaved, and we're getting threading done to them. Like, you got a lot of men that are embracing more of that, and I live for it because it's like if I see another man that looks like they've been scratching dirty nuts for the past 30 days, child, and they want to put their hands on, I'm gonna slap the shit out of your ass, bitch. Period. I'm tired of seeing men with dirty ass and these sharp ass fucking nails on their feet that'll fucking gouge your you need a tetanus shot after you're done with those bitches. I'm over it. So yeah, I promote men, especially for hygiene purposes. You need to be taking care of yourself, period. But so we have a few more minutes left. So anything else on this subject matter?
Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly like it's a social construct. That's why you just travel back in history to know that we're just looking at a different version of masculinity that was not there, and the world was just fine. Women were still getting their pussy holes shot up by niggas. They didn't have no problem getting impregnated. Our dads and our grandfathers was in Daisy Dukes in the 70s and all of that shit, wearing all this fancy ass shit. That would, to Tremel's point, be considered queer, now, because we literally are entertaining another version of masculinity, which is unsurvivable. It's unsurvivable to Black women, and even Black men are not even surviving toxic masculinity themselves, even though they encourage it and reinforce it. So, and I'm saying that this is why we have to burden ourselves with being in the world but not being of it. You have to know that most of the way you perceive the world is based upon the way that this system, this matrix, is literally inserting social realities within you, that is putting artificial intelligence and artificial frequencies in your mind that construct the way that you see the world. You have to take a creative right over your brain. You have to take time to find yourself so you can become yourself. You have to challenge your intellect, challenge your perception of things. Like, if you're just accepting shit at face value, yeah, you a red pill bitch, and you'll be reincarnating all over again until you unchoose the obvious shit. Like, the obvious shit is not the problem. It's the shit beyond that obvious shit that we need to be seeking. So we just have to burden ourselves. And something about the Black community is we don't like to be burdened with knowledge. That's why we don't read, we don't write, we don't pursue knowledge, we pursue entertainment instead. Like, we don't take enough we don't burden ourselves enough intellectually when it comes to the way we see the world. So we just got to really do the work, and you will be fucking surprised at who you find at the end of your self discovery. Like, motherfuckers leave the country and go walk across hot coals and go like divorce this system so that they have a chance to exist outside of its bubble, so that they can feel and see other things that they would not have access to had they remained in these Christian systems, in these Black community systems, in these American systems, in these whatever systems they are. Like, you've got to burden yourself with moving beyond it, or you'll just be waiting for a reality that's never going to come about for yourself until you make different decisions. And Black women are doing that too. Black women are now dating white men and divesting. They're not saying, girl, fuck that toxic shit. That's what my mama want. That's what my homegirls want. Girl, I want to be treated right. I'd rather have a nigga who is low-key, easygoing, very nice, and a little sensitive. If it means that he ain't beating my ass, raping me, or fucking my sisters and my brothers on the down low, girl. So
this is extreme. Jesus.
Like, it's time to wake up, girl. 2022 is all about the.
I do agree with you. I think, if people, that's the thing I do love about like reading about like history and different cultures and societies. It's only when you look at the Western mind frame, you start to see a lot of these like cutout groups and these distant social groups and this group thinking mentality, and like, this is the way we're gonna do it. You ever watch The Americans? Anybody ever watch that show? It's really good. So it's a really good show. It's I think it's on Netflix now, but it used to be on FX. And it's about these like sleeper cell agents brought over here from Russia, child, as children.
And they don't remember nothing or something like that.
I mean, they remember because they were trained. They were trained to do it. Almost like Salt in a way. When shout out to Angelina, honey, hello God. There was supposed to be a second one with Girl Please. They tried it, and she said, "No, girl, I need more money." Hello God. But anyway, but like the show is really good, and it just talks about like how they sit these kids in these Russian camps, and they just program the shit out of them to think like an American. They let them watch all our TV shows. They let them watch how we talk and communicate with our children, our people, how we conduct business. Like, it's really crazy. So free yourselves, children. Wake the fuck up. Become an individual. Become yourself. And hopefully you'll find all the things that Conscious and everybody else on this panel has been talking about tonight. Just do you. At the end of the day, just do you. Have fun, girl. If you like it, we love it, bitch. Okay? And keep it. The reason why y'all scared to do shit is because y'all be keeping people in y'all business. And when you step out on that so-called sex faith or whatever faith you want to call it, girl, you feel like you're being judged. Handle your business, child. You never know. And you never know until you try. Oh, God. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with everything Conscious said, except for the dancing on hot coals part, because Oprah had did that and it did nothing for her. Like, she didn't change at all. She is still the crusty ass bitch that she was before she danced in them hot coals. So everything else, make sure y'all do, but don't burn your damn feet, because it's only gonna burn your damn feet.
Period. All right, y'all. This was good. I'm gonna give my quote, and then we're gonna do our exit, and then
I thought that cat was supposed to be late, not absent.
Call him Lauren Hill tonight because the energy wasn't right, so he decided not to show.
Cap, you fired, bitch. You fired.
Okay. So the quote for today is from Miss Janet Jackson, honey. Hello, God. For those of you thinking that I despise this woman, I actually do like this woman.
You don't like Janet?
I don't like her as a performer. I don't like the music aspect of Janet because she's just a replica of her brother. But that's another conversation. We already talked about that though. Like I think we did here, didn't we? I think
we did not.
Maybe the next episode we'll talk about music and stuff like that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We'll get into it. So Janet Jackson once said, "In complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separates us. Don't let your eyes deceive you." Period.
Maybe she got that from Paula Abdul because I heard she stood everything else from her. I just heard that. I don't agree with it. I just heard.
Well, so anything you guys got going on that you'd like to promote for this week before we get out of here?
Kitty Box every Saturday.
Period.
So I just keep up. You just never know. Just never know.
I got music coming one of these days. Just look out for it. It's coming.
One of these days.
Everybody's links are in the description box, guys. Make sure you support everyone. We really do appreciate it. And also, the Kitty Box, I just wanted to point out real quick. If you guys can never get too much of the round table, the direction the Kitty Box is going in is seeming very, it's community-based, girl. Y'all, everyone's going to get your lives, and I guarantee you're not going to regret it. So make sure you're going over there, following the Instagram platform. Again, all of the information is in this description box. So get into it, honey. Every Saturday, and we're living. And shout out to Jace, our other.
Shout out to Jace. We added a few things, so it's a few more interactive parts of the podcast that you can, participate in. I think you'll really love it, and it's not at 9:00 anymore. So when you wake up on Saturdays, it'll be available too.
Amen. That's what's up. Okay. All right, y'all. This was good. Well, we did forget one thing, but
what? What?
The embarrassing part.
Oh, thank God.
I don't think we had an opportunity to get into
I thought
that.
we covered the embarrassing part. No.
I mean, not really.
Because me bleeding from my fucking eyeball because my asshole was undergoing a stigmata, I think was.
That was stigmata, girl. Oh, Brittany Murphy, girl, may you rest in peace. Was that Brittany Murphy?
What'd she say?
Brittany Murphy did. Yeah.
She did stigmata. Okay, yeah. May she rest, child. Anyway, but
what you want to tell your embarrassing story?
I mean, we kind of already touched on a little bit. Like, I didn't really want to go into great detail about once upon a time not long ago. I fucking painted Picasso, child.
You pumped and dumped.
It's happened to me more than once in life, but those were very drunk. Let me just put my real quick. Don't eat ice cream and drink at the same time, child. Period. Y'all have a wonderful night. Be blessed and never stress. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share, girl, because we all know that sharing is caring. Hello, God. And again, make sure you follow everybody on the platform. We love y'all. And stay tuned for next week of another episode of the Yes God Roundtable, bitch. Okay? Yes. Okay. Bye, y'all.